I was thinking about the situation as well, and what I realized is that this this situation in California is happening because the government want it to happen. They want it to happen, and they don't care about the people at all. I made a little note so I can make sure we voted for the people, and so we are getting what we deserve. As Doug or somebody said, that every year we vote in the same people. They can become like 80 and 90 and 70, not that 70 is old, because I'm not old. Um, but you still vote in the same people. They could be senile and you still vote them in. They could be passing out in the White House and you still vote them in. So you get the kind of people that you want. You get the people clearly get the government they want, but the government don't care about you. They just care about money and power. They pretend to be trying to help you when they're really setting you up and using you for their own personal gain. They come up with all kind of programs and everything but working for us, putting water, making water available to put out fire, whatever the situation may be. They don't care about that. So in California, they've gotten rid of the water. There were like 3 or 4 dams that we had here, and we found out that they're totally empty. Think about that. And then they have, according to all the report, the water that's supposed to be coming in for the farmers and for the land is being pushed out into the ocean because they want to save a fish. So the people can't run the farms the way they like. There's no water in the faucet or the dam to put out the fire because of environmental want to save a fish. And the reason our government is going along with the environmental people is because they want the money. The government people get money when they go with these programs. And no water. The water is run out into the ocean, and then when we get our water bill, they charging us buku money for a water bill. And they say, you got to cut back on the water bill, on the water. But where is the water? It's in the ocean. Can you even believe that? And yet we vote for them. And then we vote for bills that cause us to pay more taxes. Like they say, oh, we need money for the homeless. We got to help the homeless. And so I'm like, well, why are there homeless people out there? The government made sure the homeless people become homeless. They set that up. And then they get the homeless people needles and they turn them into drug addicts. And then they come back and tell us, we need more program for drug addicts. And let's put it on the bill. Let's vote for it. And the people vote for it. You pay more taxes. And then they say, too many black people going to jail, so we need to cut back on bail bond. And so, and the people voted to cut the bail bond so that if you commit a crime, you don't have to go to jail. You can stay in your neighborhood. I remember when we fought against that up in Sacramento. They voted to cut out bail bond and let all the people out of prison, and you don't have to worry about it. Isn't that like crazy? But I didn't vote for it, but other people voted for it. Because they're like, oh, that's not fair. And the people go, yeah, that's not fair. And they voted for it. Then they said, no police. No more police. Okay, we're going to let you all out of prison, out of jail, and then we're going to take the police away. And then the people heard that, they went crazy with crime. And then the government said, oh, it's your fault. You gotta put cameras on your building now. You gotta do this and do that. You have to pay for that, but you voted no police. Just think about somebody was crazy enough to vote no police. Just think about that. How can someone convince you to vote no police? And the people gone crazy. But we voted for that. I didn't vote for it, but you did. And then they tell you that We need to get rid of all the qualified people who know what they're doing, who have time, they have experience under their belt, people that make sure things work. And they say, we need to get rid of that. That's not fair. We need DEI. We need to hire you based on your color, your sex, and your whatever crazy thing they said. But not qualified people. How would things work if you don't have qualified people? They got rid of all the men who, not all of them, but especially white men who qualify for the fire department. Now they got a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing. The fat lesbian said, that's supposed to be one of the leaders of the fire thing. She said, they said women can't, something like, I don't know. They said women can't carry a person out of a fire. First of all, you're in the wrong place anyway. Something like that, right? The fire chief said that. Oh, one of the fire leaders. Do I know?
That blew my mind when I thought it was a Saturday Night Live skit or something. I didn't.
Yeah.
I kept doing research to make sure that wasn't fake, but she actually did. She actually said that you were in a bad spot in the first place. Basically blaming you.
She blaming you for being in the fire. And you're paying her to come and get you out the fire. Ain't no way she gonna get up the ladder anyway, so you ain't gotta worry. Jump out the window when she's coming. But it's like swimming at the beach, and they have these swimming people watching those lifeguard people, and the lifeguard person is supposed to run out there and save you, right? If you're drowning. But the lifeguards are sitting there looking at you, you're in the wrong place anyway. And now that we have this fire, they hold press conferences. These people, one thing I want to tell you that I found out, and you probably have too, is that they tell us they need all this money for programs, and what you find out later, that they're making $200,000 and $300,000 a year. The money goes to them under the umbrella of salaries, but the jobs are not getting done. It's just they're making more money. So it's all for them, it's not for us. Isn't that crazy? They making buku money. Yes, sir.
The homeless support systems are the best example of that because, and you can look this up, it's like a pretty well-known conspiracy that all these low-income housing nonprofits, they take hundreds of millions of dollars, buy an apartment complex that's worth tons, turn it into low-income housing for 10 years, and then they hire themselves as private real estate investors for the same building that they now own, that you paid for.
What a mess, huh? What a racket. But that's human nature. That's all human nature until we overcome it. Let me take your remedy, then I come to you. And then they tell you, so I'm looking at these press conferences with all the losers. The mayor, the governor, the fire chiefs, the police. These are the same people that said that we're not going to work with the new government to get the illegal out of your country. We're going to put up a barrier to work against you for the illegal. That's about them too. They want the vote. They don't care about us, about that. And we voted the same people every time. And then your place burned down, they come and hold a press conference, they tell you to be vigilant. They're telling you, okay, your house burned down because we didn't do our job for you, but you be vigilant. How that work? Vigilant. Vigilant. Make you want to cuss. I understand. It makes you want to cuss. Your house burned down, their houses are safe, and they tell you to be vigilant. And then they tell the criminal, because there were people looting the area, they try to talk big on the camera. You better not come up here. You better not be caught looting. You're gonna pay a price. But they took away all the police so you can loot. Yeah. They took away bail bond and all the things that make you to punish you for committing a crime, and they try to act tough. But they made that possible too, so you can loot. Isn't that like human nature is evil? Yes.
I wanted to add a thought. So I feel like the political world, corporate America, families are no different. There's always
It's the same thing.
It's always somebody, a person of power, selling you a speech to make you feel something,
Yeah.
to give you a false sense of hope, and continue with the group thinking. Because
Absolutely.
you're saying, how do people vote for no police because they feel a sense of guilt for voting pro-police? They're made to think that way because if you think different, then you're wrong. You cannot be a free thinker. You must follow the crowd.
Good point.
And it's the same way mama or anybody who's wicked gets you, through guilt, through feelings, through emotions.
Yeah.
And they continue to put you through this possessive life where you can never think on your own.
And then they come back and then with the fire, they're telling people, oh, you need to donate. Donate at this place and donate at this place. And then when people do donate, they're like, oh, you're so brave, you're so nice, you're like, they're stroking you again. They're trying to make you feel good about donating when they're the one caused the problem, and now they're telling you to donate. Where all the money we've already spent? Buy some food with that money. It's crazy, but the people fall for it because they've been stroked again. And then they call you hero.
Right.
Oh, we have look at the fire people going up the mountain to put. I saw this yesterday. Look at the fire people going up the mountain to put out the fire. These are our heroes. And the people give an award to them, and they feel like heroes, but they're not heroes. They're doing their job. They go up the mountain to put the fire out because we paid them to do that. If you're going to be a hero, don't get paid. Go up the mountain without getting a paycheck and put your own life, and then we'll call you a hero. You ain't no hero. You're getting paid. Just like it would be me telling Hate he's a hero for doing his show every day. But he
is a
paid.
hero.
He ain't no hero.
One other thing I just wanted
He
to
doesn't
add.
do it free. Yes.
Just to add, I mean, I don't know too much. I know we're at church, and I don't want to throw too much conspiracies.
Too
but
late.
I feel like we have the Olympics coming up. We have FIFA coming up. We have a lot coming up that are supposed to be in town. So I feel like this is a cleanup project to clean up certain aspects to create for those huge funding programs or events that we're going to have. So there's going to be a big tons of crowd coming in for the World Cup, for the Olympics. There's a lot coming up in this city.
Yeah, that's a conspiracy.
Yes.
I don't know. You may be onto something.
The first thing you said, I agreed 100%. What I said? About mama, the ego, how this all ties in. Just so that we don't water down the first part of what you said, that first part, I couldn't agree more about the ego and how we're vulnerable because of our own egos.
Yeah, absolutely. The people are blind. Blind, blind, blind. It's amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. I wouldn't be surprised what these people up to, man, to be honest with you. It sounds like it could be a little off, but it could be quite possible with this government we have. Really, it could be possible. What a mad, mad world we live in. Any questions or anything? Oh, yeah, Raymond.
About the disaster we're having. Some say it's divine retribution, others say it's corruption. But personally, I think it's nothing but apathy because we're so used to the horsemen near we're giving we just giving up and let everybody lead us through the nose like a pig through a sty.
Amazing.
I've been living in this city long enough to know that there'll be enormous catastrophes like fires and earthquakes. But it's how we as people should deal with it, and we're not dealing with it properly.
Well, we have a government that's not working for us. We didn't know how bad it was with the water situation. And even though we heard about it, I didn't know they were putting all the water into the ocean. And we have no water to put out a fire, no water in the fire hose or anything. I didn't know that. Who would think that your government would do something stupid like that? I knew they were trying to save a stupid fish that nobody liked. But I had no idea they were taking this far. Zero. I saw, yes.
The Bible says we fight not against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers in high places.
Yes.
And I think it's an example of the evil within all of us, just in high places, because
It's the same spirit.
within people. Also, I live in the hood, and the night that the fires were like really raging, there was an accident on the corner where I live, and someone hit a fire hydrant. Water was everywhere. It was so much water. Just, if you ever seen a fire hydrant get hit, the water is just
Right.
shooting out everywhere.
And they had a lot of water.
But I
And
think
they
it's,
didn't even need it.
yeah, right, just shooting out everywhere. And I'm looking at this like, oh, there's no water in the Palisades. It doesn't make sense. So many things don't make sense. And when Randy said conspiracy, one of the things he said is a project, and I also believe, it's just my opinion, it matters not to anyone, not even me really, but it does sound like a project, like something that has been organized to happen, because it just doesn't make sense. But that's just my opinion.
Okay.
But it
Amazing.
also gives the fact that it's just another confirmation that we all should be looking within and working on ourselves so that we don't fall into the thoughts and the evil spirits that are working in high places.
Yeah. People need to wake up. What a mess. Any other questions or comments about that? Yes, sir.
I just wanted to add that from the outside, first time I visited California was in 2008, and there was fire. Every time there was fire when I visited since. So you could say the insurance company must know that it's coming every year. People insure their houses. Somebody knows what's going on, and whose fault is it?
But what I'm hearing is that the government has passed rules where the insurance companies are restricted as to what they can do. They can't raise the prices, they can't do this and do that. And so a lot of insurance companies don't even bother to sell insurance here anymore.
They don't insure their houses from fire?
So something, I'm not clear how that is, but they don't want sell fire insurance, especially in certain areas.
So
Because the government is
It's
so
crazy.
restricted with their thing,
So that's
with the insurance company.
like you say, whose fault is it?
The government and the people.
If it goes like 20 years already, it's also the people, yeah? It has to be also the people. You can
Yeah,
say
the
the
people
government,
too.
he's right about being apathic, yeah?
Yep. What a mess.